We're demoing the donut chart here, and the donut chart is very much like the pie chart. So if you've seen the video for the pie chart, this is going to be pretty much of an action replay. The donut chart only has a hole cut out of the pie chart basically, but it is a chart in its own right, and so we are going to demo it. We go to the configuration panel and we're going to pick, let's pick manufacturer, let's pick the case outcome. And you can have up to 4 levels. I find it gets pretty crowded pretty fast. So while you can, it really depends on your data. I'll stick to 2 here, and we'll create this. And as you can see here, the outer ring is the manufacturers, and the inner ring is the case outcome. So you can do that, and it shows you the actual count of the cases, as well as the percentage for the first level and for the second level as well. The other thing is, so 1, 2, 3. There's 3 manufacturers, and there's 5 case outcomes. Now, which isn't a lot by the way, but if we had data that was really crowded, and you really wanted to focus on the first couple of the largest ones basically of choices, you could do that. You could basically say count for the top. Let's just do top 1 for manufacturer and top 2 for case outcome, and generate this. If I were to do that now, you will see that here the manufacturer, the top manufacturer is InfoWord Pharma, so it's showing up, and all the other, well, there were only 2 out of 3 manufacturers. The other 2 have been lumped together under others. Same thing for the case outcome. We said the top 2 for the case outcome. So the top 2 happen to be, let's see, this is not recovered. That is 57%. And then I guess the next big one with 11.6% is recovered. And the other 3 have been aggregated into others. So this is a good way to basically focus on the largest categories or segments you have, and aggregating all the others, so you can still see the percentage split, or the share that the top few that you're interested in have garnered. There's also, you can save the image. If I click here, it will save the image, and it will also create filters file that I'll show you, but let's open the image first. So the image file is created. You can embed that, and you can send it, you can embed it in PowerPoint presentation, anything. But it also creates a filters file, and that provides the context. So if you're going to send it to someone, or if you're talking to it in a presentation, you're addressing it and explaining it, you also have this context that what was the data that went to it. So, for example, case outcome, you had top 2 filtered here, or top 2 basically segmented here, top 1 for manufacturer in this case, and everything else. So if you filter out, for example, the female, and you were just doing patient sex of male, it would show that. So you would know exactly what went into that. There is one more option here at the bottom. If you go down, there is show values on the chart. So if I just remove this and I generate the chart, it would not have any of the values. Now that kind of makes it a little difficult unless you have it as an interactive, on screen interactive. Then you can obviously get the tooltips, and at least that gives you a sense. So again, it depends on your taste and really how crowded the chart can get. There are a few more options here. Export to ToroViewer has been disabled. ToroViewer is also a way to export this data so somebody else who does not have ToroCube can look at it and sort of play with the interactivity that is available to you. ToroViewer works off a server, and there's demos on the client. Basically, the heavy lifting is done by your browser, so it's disabled for that reason. Saving the report, there is another video for saving and publishing reports that has all the details into how saving report works. And finally, confirmation report. Whenever you run an analysis, create a chart, and it tells you, after you filter, it tells you that, okay, based on these criteria, you're looking at 700 cases or 7,000 cases or something, you may want to know, well, what's behind those 7,000 cases. I want to know which cases those are. You may have filtered by time period and say, I only want cases in the year 2021. Regardless of what your filters are, you end up with a number of cases. The confirmation report will give you a report that will show those cases, the case numbers. I don't recommend kicking it here, only because even with the limited number of cases we have here, the fact that it's running on the client, it's going to be slow. On the other hand, on the server, it is pretty fast. And that pretty much is all the features for the Doughnut chart. Thank you for watching.